What is up, Rage Nation? We are back again with another behind the scenes video of us getting a radio interview. And of course, everything on here is raw. Everything on here is unedited. So it's not going to sound like the radio broadcast. So if we mess up, you're going to hear it. Welcome in. If the algorithm gods have been gracious to us and YouTube or Facebook is showing you the video and you're here and you like our mission of giving a global platform to independent and unsigned bands and you want to help out, you can find more about us at indierageradio.us, or you can look in the description and the crawl and you can use our Amazon affiliate link. Essentially, Amazon has some of the best prices on the face of this planet. That's why so many people buy stuff from Amazon. With our Amazon link, when you click it, you buy something from Amazon, we get a small commission, no added cost to you. It's a win-win for everybody. So we sure would appreciate it. All right, here we go. Segment 1 in 3, 2, 1. Indie Rage Radio, indierageradio.us. We are back with another one, boys and girls. Tonight with us is Christina Avila from CA Promotions. Christina, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Glad to talk with you today and play some of your bands on the show.
Thank you.
So let's get a little history lesson on Christina. Give us, how you got into promotions, what led up to that. Give us the ditty. I guess, well, no, we don't want to say ditty anymore. Give us the story.
Oh, well, I lost both of my parents. My dad was from Cuba. My mom's family was from the Middle East, but she was born here. And then my dad's mom's family was from Spain. And sadly, I lost both of them. And when I grew up as a kid with 3 older sisters, music was always being played. The big bands, the doo-wop, Motown. My father taught me how to Spanish dance as a kid. He put my foot on top of his feet, and he taught me. There was a club that he belonged to. He was a founding member of a Cuban club. So as a kid, I grew up with American Bandstand, Solid Gold, Soul Train. I grew up with it all. On Sunday nights, I can't remember his name right now, but on PBS, it was a show with men and women singing, trombones, saxophones. My parents loved jazz. When they were younger, they used to walk. I lived in Bridgeport, but now I live in Fairfield. They used to walk from their home to Seaside Park, which back in the day was beautiful. And they used to go every Saturday ballroom dancing. So music was just always something big in my house, and I wanted to kind of dedicate it in honor to them.
So did your mom grow up in Connecticut and your dad met her in Connecticut? I bet you that was a culture shock for him, coming from Cuba and then coming to where there's like 10 feet of snow.
Yes. Well, when he came here, I guess a good friend of his was living in the same apartment complex that my grandmother lived in. So his best friend lived in the same apartment buildings. And I never knew who liked who first. But my dad used to go visit a good friend of his where my mom used to live with my grandmother. So that's how they met.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
All right. So you can get in touch with Christina on Facebook and Instagram, also at Christina Avila, Avila 41 at gmail.com. So let's go ahead and play some of your bands.
Okay.
We're going to start off with Divine Martyr. Divine Martyr. I knew I was going to get tongue-tied on this.
It's okay.
Again, Divine Martyr.
Yes.
There we go. And we're going to play the song Fear. Tell us a little bit about this band.
Well, they're from the Midwest. They're a symphonic rock band. Their sound is almost like Nightwish. The drummer, who's also the keyboardist, and I guess he does synthesizers, his name's Mark McCowan. Bass player is Woody Hughes. Guitar player is Jason Hyde. And they just hired a new female-fronted vocalist. Her name is Cassandra, and she's amazing. And it's very symphonic rock, Nightwish. Camelot a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm a fan of symphonic rock, especially female fronted symphonic metal bands, because my musical palette's very female fronted, and I love a female voice on rock or metal. And when
Hmm.
you sent this to me, not only was I intrigued about the name, but then I saw the picture of the band. I was like, oh, they have a female front. I got to check this out. And they're really, really good.
Yes, thank you.
So, how did the relationship start with you and this band?
Oh boy, I can't remember that back far, but I think I reached out to the drummer and I probably told him that I, liked their music and did they have someone working with them? And he said no. And it started from there. How many years ago? Probably like a year and a half ago or so. Um, the music is very positive. It's empowering, inspiring. Um, their messages. It's all good. It's all positive. Especially the crazy world we're living in today.
Mhm.
That I enjoy working with bands that are positive based, inspiring, encouraging.
All right, let's see if I can get it, Christina. Up next, it is Divine Martyr with their song Fear on Indie Rage Radio. I knew I was going to mess that up.
That's okay.
All right, let's see. Segment number 2, we're going to talk a little bit about, what promotions is, what your company does for bands.
Okay.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Indie Rage Radio, indieradio.us. We are back with our special guest today, Christina Avila from CA Promotions. Christina, tell us a little bit about your company and what you do for your bands.
I advertise upcoming shows. I advertise their websites, upcoming events. I ask them for MP3s to submit for airplay. I schedule interviews for them. I'm not booking shows just yet. If, like, let's say for Connecticut based blues rock recording artists, the name droppers, there's something called the Roots Music Report. And depending on what state it is, they're working on their 4th or 5th album. I believe it's their 5th album. Every Monday, there's a report. And depending on the state, you click on the state, and it will come up with the different albums that they have listed under there. So from that, I screenshot it and I send it to the guitar player, Rafe. And then I advertise it for them on there. Just so they know, oh, wow, the album that, the 2nd or 3rd album we did, it's still on that chart. So I do things like that.
And what would you say is one of the hardest things you do as a band promotion company?
Wow. I think sometimes scheduling interviews can be tough because some of the bands are on the East Coast like me, but then there's some that are on the West Coast. There's a new band from the Netherlands called Maestro and RVH Project. Well, they're 6 hours ahead from me. Stian Pian, he's 6 hours ahead of me. A band from London, they're a 3-piece hard rock band. They're 6 hours ahead of me. So trying to schedule, interviews is tough.
Yeah, we scheduled some interviews in the past across the pond, and I always feel bad. Like, the German artist, it's like midnight, but it's, it's like 5 o'clock over here or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or the bands in Australia. But so what would you say, if a band is looking for someone to I guess handle all their promotions, what do you think that alleviates from the band? What do they get back if they have somebody else doing that for them?
I think it's good for them in a way, but also I think sometimes if they do it, I don't want to sound negative, but I guess we help each other. If they do some and then I do some for them, because sometimes their wording can be different than mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess helping, if they could help me, I try to help them. Other people help promote, their upcoming shows in a different manner, in a different wording.
Most definitely. And you kind of name dropped them a few minutes ago. We're going to play a song from the Name Droppers. Let's go ahead and
Nice.
talk about this band.
They are a Connecticut-based blues rock recording artist. Their drummer, Bobby Torello, oh my goodness, he toured, was actually in Johnny and Edgar Winter Band.
Oh, wow.
He was in, oh my goodness, I can't remember the Outlaws. He performed with Richie Blackmore for a couple of days, and I don't know what else to say about that, but he's a fantastic drummer and just an all-around nice guy. Their bass player, Scott Spray, Scott has performed with, oh my gosh, musicians over a lifetime. And he actually performed on the David Letterman and Jay Leno show. And then the keyboardist, Ron Rifkin, and the guitar player, Rafe Klein, they both were taught from a Connecticut well-known guitar player named Charlie Karp. But he passed away 2019. So from 2019 and on, they've had this band, and their producer's name is Vic Steffens, and he's had so many musicians. He's helped produce them all over. And they're just nice guys. They just did a show in March that I attended, and last year with my fiance and my daughter. They opened up for the blues rock legend, Walter Trout, and they're amazing.
Here it is. It's the Name Droppers with Can't Take It With You here on Indie Rage Radio.
That's a great song. Oh my gosh, I was listening to it, trying to figure out what it meant. Wow, it's so true. When you pass away, boy, nothing goes with you. In other words, enjoy life while you can.
Right.
Because
Right.
we don't know what could happen tomorrow.
Man, that's so true. I see on Facebook and in the news all the time, people my age passing away, and I'm like, man.
Yep.
So what was the name of this band again? The one from Norway?
Stian Pian.
Dion Pion. Okay. I need your love. Okay. So hour number 3 kicks off, or segment 3 kicks off hour number 2. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Indie Rage Radio, indierageradio.us. We are back in hour number 2. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And of course, if you enjoy the show, you can watch the unedited raw version of this interview, behind the scenes content, at our YouTube channel or our Facebook page. Just search Indie Rage Radio. Tonight with us, we got Christina Avila from CA Promotions. Christina, we've been playing some of your bands tonight. We're going to continue doing that. So let's talk a little bit about, I guess, your job as a band promoter. What is it that you would say that you get out of it personally from helping these bands?
Everything. I mean, by watching documentaries, by watching interviews, especially after I losing my mom during the pandemic, and even before that with my dad. My parents always took me to the library as a kid, and I still go to the library. I love to read. My daughter just picked me up a book for my birthday last year. Ain't Nothing But a Good Time, which is all about the 80s musicians. I just love to read. My fiance's bought me books also. I go to the library and I get books too. The industry has changed so much, from Napster to free downloading, streamlining. When I grew up as a kid, in our mall, we had 2 record stores, Record Town downstairs, Graf Lawman upstairs. My daughter and I just went to our local mall today, and we still have a record store, but it's just so sad now because CDs, I mean, you can order CDs on Amazon, which I've done too, but everything is just so different. So I know musicians are not making as much money as they used to. The booking managers and touring managers, they take a lot of cut. Ticket prices are astronomical. And then not only that, but the hidden fees. So who knows if the musicians see any money from that. Even the tour bus. It used to be back in the day that they could rent a tour bus Well, now everyone has to pay. The hotels even used to be accommodable and give them like a bed and breakfast. Not anymore. The traveling, even on the airplanes, everything is just so expensive that, and a lot of musicians face it today, everyone has to work. That's the only way they can, make money. Or their merchandise, which a lot of people don't go out and buy t-shirts anymore. And there was something that I saw, and even that I've heard over and over, and it's so true. Support the local artists, because Motley Crue and Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, they all started off at the small clubs and they worked their way up. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to see Black Sabbath for their last tour, and the tickets are $700, and that's great. I mean, good for you if you have it, but why not spend $5 or $10 to support your local artists, because that's where it starts too.
Yeah, they could be the next Black Sabbath.
Yes, you never know.
And that shirt that you could have bought there at the table could probably, be worth like $500 in a few years.
Yes, very true.
And speaking of merch at venues, you were talking about how, the industry is so different these days. It blows my mind that some venues take a cut from bands' merch sales. That
Yes,
blows my mind.
yes, yes.
Insane.
Awful. Or even a lot of musicians have, told me that the reason why a lot of them have someone in the band promoting them, back in the day, in the 70s and the 80s, mostly 80s too, they had their own promoters, but when they were on stage, the promoter would go and steal money from the merchandise, you know, table. So, or a lot of artists too now are doing everything independently. So they don't have to worry. They know exactly who's in charge of what. But you still got to be careful, because some of those band members behind your back, if you're not looking, they could take more of a cut than they should.
Yep. So let's talk about another one of your bands here. Let's see if I say this correct. Stian Pion?
Yes.
Yes. It's a project out of Norway, and
Yes.
really, really interesting how they put this together. Let's talk about Stian Pion.
I reached out to him probably a year ago. I saw that he had different varieties of musicians on his roster. And one of them is Rick Fox. And I met, not in person, but a well known frontman named Ian Chris. Phenomenal, fantastic guy. I went to a holiday show that he was doing with his former band with Ted Poley twice at this venue called Dingbats in New Jersey. And he told me to reach out to Rick Fox. Rick Fox has an incredible history. He's an iconic bassist for Wasp, for Sin, Wasp, Steeler, and some other things that he's doing. He lived in New York, moved to LA, now lives out in Missouri. And I've learned a lot from Rick Fox. And he's one of the artists on this roster. So I thought, well, let me check out, I thought it was an average band, 60 musicians. Oh my gosh, all over the world. I
Crazy.
referred a keyboardist. His name is Chris McCoy. I asked Ian, you're looking for a keyboardist for one of your tracks? Yes. So I told him about this Chris McCoy guy. The next day, he hired Chris McCoy to be on his roster. So it's an incredible project. He's working on new material. Another thing that he told me, and a lot of other musicians are, when they're recording their albums, I don't know if all bands are doing it, but a lot of them are just doing one single every month. And when they go to the recording studios, sometimes the recording studios, they have to pay for that too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what he's doing. He's working on a track once a month with these different musicians.
That is awesome. From Norway, here's Stian Pion with I Need Your Love on Indie Rage Radio.
It's one of my favorites from him. Funny thing, Mike, there's a musician named Billy Schlumpf. I think that's how you say his name. And he has toured with David Reese, and I believe he lives in Minnesota. Well, I saw something on Friday that he's been added to the roster now too with Dion Pion. And I thought, oh my gosh. So I reached out to him and I congratulated him. And on Friday, I advertised, his name and I welcomed him on board.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I really love collaborative stuff like that.
Yes, there's a new band. I mean, they're a tribute, but I'm a huge Toto fan.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a new music of Toto called Make Believe from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, Chris McCoy, who's a keyboardist, and it's 9 other musicians along with himself. A saxophonist, trombonist. Oh my gosh. Oh, they sound spot on to
Really?
Toto. When they release a demo of their music, I'll definitely send it to you or you can even go on their Make Believe page
Mm-hmm.
and check out the rehearsal videos. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, definitely go check it out because I work at a classic hit station. We play like 80s, 90s, early
Nice.
2000s. So yeah, I
Yeah.
always enjoy when a Toto song comes up.
And I've never heard of a Toto tribute before, so I'm tickled pink that I'm going to be working with this band.
Oh, well, then they may be able to corner the market then.
Yes, they're brand new.
Yeah. Heck yeah. They got plans to like keep it regional or like branch it out national.
Well, they're going to be doing a show in July, and then they're going to do another show in August. So, I advertised something today about them, but what I can do is I can message it to you through Facebook.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
what I
Definitely.
posted for their upcoming shows, they have an Instagram page. They're working on a website too.
Nice. Nice. All right. So segment 4 is like at the end of the show.
Okay.
So it's like the last song we're going to play. And we're going to play the Renaissance Rock Orchestra. And you said they're from Las Vegas, right?
Yes, they have an interesting story. Right after I lost my mom, the composer, writer, founder, and keyboardist, his name is Greg Fox. Now he lives in he lives up in the state of Washington. He created a band, a symphonic rock band, and he's had so many different musicians um, collaborating with him on all of his albums. Um, they came out with a Christmas album last year. Uh, Mark Bowles is a singer, but he's had different singers, different guitar players, different drummers. He's a keyboardist, so it's like a collaboration of different musicians,
Yeah.
but they're incredible. And the song that really interested me was called Song of Hope. And that was a song for anyone during the pandemic.
Yeah.
That we're going to get through it, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So it really hit me, especially, with losing my mom in the pandemic. And I reached out to him and I said, do you have someone working with you? And he said, no. So I said to him, well, send me whatever it is you have. I'll put it out there. Probably within a day or two. He said, yeah, you're on. And probably 3 or 4 or 5 months later, I asked him, hey, could I be your assistant manager? And he said, sure. So, yeah.
Now, do they are they like a local band or do they have like a residency at a casino?
It's kind of hard to say with a residency because the different musicians live in all different parts of the U.S. and a lot of them are touring with other bands. But Greg's original residency was in Las Vegas, but now he lives in the state of Washington.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Segment 4 in 3, 2, 1. Indie Rage Radio, IndieRageRadio.us. Sadly, we are here again. It's the final segment of the show, but look, it happens every week. Got to be done. We only have a 2-hour block on this radio station. Our special guest with us today has been Christina Avila from CA Promotions. If you missed any of this episode, you can listen to it on demand this Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here in the good old U.S. at IndieRageRadio.us. You can find Christina on Facebook, Instagram, and Christina Avila, Avila 41 at gmail.com. So, Christina, let's talk a little bit about, as a promotions company, you know, when you are searching out bands, and I guess give maybe some tips to some bands out there that are maybe looking for somebody to handle their promotions. You know, what's going to be attractive about a band that makes you want to jump on board?
Mm, that's a hard one. Um, Maybe some positive music, inspiring, encouraging music, because we're just living some crazy times right now where everything is just divided. People aren't talking to each other because of politics, whatever the case is. Um, I guess I was raised old school with honesty, respect, communication. And I get it, everyone's busy. But if you're going to work with me, you got to have some kind of communication. And it doesn't have to be every day, maybe once, twice a week. Because I don't know what their plans are. I don't know how they operate on doing things if I don't reach out to them. Um, yeah, I was just brought up with all those, ways of life. And I did like a trial basis with a death metal band. I mean, it wasn't even a full day, it was just like 20 minutes or so. And it just didn't work out because I'm not, saying anything bad about death metal bands or black metal. It's just not my forte. Um, but yeah, if you can just be respectful, especially because it's hard, in this industry to be female. And I do everything by myself. I don't have a team. Um, I do charge the bands though. Everything goes through my PayPal that's connected to my email address. For years, I did free work, but now I don't do free work anymore because it's a lot of dedication. Having a daughter, not doing much on the weekends. My fiance stays overnight. I try to do things in the morning. I usually advertise Tuesdays and Fridays unless the band will tell me, hey, can you do it 3 times a week or whatever. But, they have the regulations just like me, and it's all worked out great.
Yeah, I think another tip, and you said it earlier, for a band, just because they hire you not to stop working, they got to continue putting the elbow grease in,
Yes.
doing their own thing.
Yes.
It's got to be a symbiotic relationship.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the last band that we're going to play from that's on your roster, and of course you have other bands, but we can only play 4 on the show. We're going to play the Renaissance Rock Orchestra. And we were talking behind the scenes, and you can watch that video right now on Indie Rage Radio's YouTube and Facebook page. But tell us a little bit about the backstory of the Renaissance Rock Orchestra.
Well, they were a Las Vegas, Nevada-based symphonic rock band. Their creator, writer, founder, and keyboardist, his name is Greg Fox. He started the band, and there's a collaboration of different artists on all their albums. And it's another one of these bands like Stion where it's different collaborations. A lot of these other musicians, though, they're on tour with different bands, or they live, in the United States, or they live out of overseas. But their music is just very intriguing. And the way he plays that orchestra, his keyboard or piano, it just, wow, it's amazing. They had a song that really touched me during the pandemic after losing my mom called Song of Hope. And it was just a reminder to everyone that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, that we're going to make it when you're facing tough times, no matter what your situation is, whether it's a work related, family, you're always going to get through it. And that song just stuck to me. And I reached out to him and I asked him, do you have someone working for you? And he said, no. And I, told him I was interested a day or two and started collaborating with him. And then months later, I asked if I could be his assistant manager. And he said yes, because one of the things that I do for the different musicians, I asked them for MP3s so I could distribute to different radio stations to get their music heard. And yeah, we've been working together for 5 years, and it's an amazing adventure.
And I tell you, keyboard is such, what's the word? The undervalued piece of a
Yes.
band.
Yes.
And keyboards can make or break a band. Two, when you were saying, that he's an amazing keyboardist, two keyboardists came to my mind right off the bat. Josh Head from Emory, who is an absolute beast on the keyboard. The
Mm,
guy wails like a banshee as well. And then Patrick McCullum from the band All Star United. I remember when I saw All Star United for the first time, I was like, oh, there's a keyboard there. This guy played it like it was, like an instrument that you wear. He was picking it up and like it was crazy. So a good
wow.
keyboardist can change the vibe in a room quick.
Yes, definitely.
So let's go ahead and play the song. This is the Renaissance Rock Orchestra with Long Live Rock and Roll. I am Mikey O. She is Christina. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see ya when we see ya. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time. Yeah, keep sending me your bands. I sure would
I will
appreciate it.
definitely do that, and just I will definitely reach out to you with the Toto tribute. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. I
Yes.
felt like I was watching an actual, well, Toto's coming to Connecticut, but a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, do you miss going to concerts because everything's so expensive?" I look at what I'm doing is almost like a concert.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I mean, experiencing these um different types of musicians, listening to their music. When you were talking about a keyboardist last summer, my fiance and I won VIP tickets to see Brit Floyd.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. And I'm not a Pink Floyd fan, but if they come to your area, I will send you their website. Oh my gosh. It was like Brit Floyd, Pink Floyd, but that keyboardist, bam, right in your face.
Yeah.
I couldn't get over it. And even last year, the year before, my fiance and I got tickets to go see this guitar player for this mambo rock band. His name is Rico Monaco, and he's a Connecticut native but now lives in Florida. He's been touring with the son of the legend Tito Puente. We got to see Tito Puente Jr. We got to meet him also. Mike, feel free to send him a friend request. He would be willing to do an interview.
Okay.
Any of these musicians that I send you, they
Yeah.
love to do interviews.
Oh, right on.
Oh my gosh, yes. He was just in the Puerto Rican Day Parade yesterday in New York. And what he's doing is he's doing a legacy tour in honor of his dad. So he's all over the place. He was in Germany. He's going to Africa pretty soon.
Nice.
He's all over. But yeah, send him a friend request. He would love it. And Rico
Okay.
Monaco too, and tell them that you referred to them from me. Rico has done shows in Mexico with Sammy Hagar. They're
Nice.
incredible and nice people too.
So how was the local music scene over there in Connecticut? Did it rebound from COVID?
You know, it's tough because um I've been going to see a really good tribute band. They're a 90s tribute band, but they've become family to me. Two of the members were in a cover band named Shiver. When my dad was sick with cancer, when he passed away, they were there for me. Now with this tribute band, when my mom got really sick, when my mom had passed away, they were there for me. I mean, there's a lot of good cover bands. There's a lot of good tribute bands. The original bands are cool too, but, and I don't want to sound negative, but it's all about the high school drama, the cliques, the drunks. I'm 52 years old. I got a daughter to think about. I don't have time for any of that. My fiance and I were doing it for 20 plus years. We just want to stay with the people like this band, Flannel Clad Masses, the name droppers, just because there's no drama. And if something ever happened, to my daughter, someone was messing with her, I wouldn't have to worry because somebody in the band, would step up. I
Mhm.
mean, my fiance would too, but it's just so hard because, everyone's sucked in to going to see these cover bands, tribute bands, but there's nothing but drama, competition, the drunks, the vaping. I'm anemic. My fiance is asthmatic. We can't be around that.
Right.
And it's not fun anymore. It used to be fun. It's not fun. So it's hard to say, but I'll send you the Facebook page of Flannel Clad Masses. Oh my gosh, the lead singer went to school in New York, and I
Yeah.
guess he went for vocal. Oh my gosh, they always they do a version of Aerials from System of a Down.
Mm.
Wow. I mean, Dan can just sing. Holy crap. Holy moly. I mean, sorry about that. Um, his vocal range can, they start with Nirvana. Now they do a tribute, their own version of Kryptonite. Now they're doing their own version of She Sells Sanctuary from the Cult.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. These guys are incredible. Yeah.
Well, definitely, yeah. Send that my way, and keep doing great work.
Thank you
And
so
I
much.
appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I hope to
Yeah,
do another interview with you again soon.
will do.
Thanks again. Have a great night.
You as well.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.